Fire family, the Ivy Phoenix here, coming to you with mid-month, end of month, both readings. And I'm going to be grouping these by element. So it will be an element reading, and then I will get specific to each sign so that you're able to get direct messages and see if it pertains to you. So, fire signs, you came up first. This is going to be your video, and then you know me in the standard zodiac order: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I did also pull cards to be able to direct and hone in on the specific energy. And so I'm going to be utilizing that as a frame of reference, and then of course doing the reading. So let's just jump right on into it. Fire signs. You guys had two cards come out: Ten of Swords, Seven of Wands. And what was actually really, not funny, but kind of, serendipitous, coincidental, etc., is the fact that when I was tapping into your energy, shuffling the cards, waiting for them to pop out and make themselves known, I kept seeing the color blue for you. And then I started to think about the sky. I started to think about the clouds. I started to think about things that were going to be very peaceful. At least that's what you were looking for. And then the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Wands comes out. So I was just like, clearly, you're going to need to find some way to relax yourself over the next several weeks here. Now, granted, the message that has generally been coming out, or at least, in reference to the October readings that I had put out, and also too that the posts that I have put out on Instagram, a lot of them have pertained to what the next several weeks are going to bring, especially as 2020 concludes itself. And all of that is going to do with, this huge Scorpio influence, the Mercury retrograde being influenced by Scorpio, and therefore, really trying to make sure that we are getting in deep. And for fire signs, you guys are passionate. You guys are externalized energy. You need to make sure that you are putting forth things outside of yourself. And so when it calls for you to be able to get deep, to dig deep, to heal yourself, to relax, to do all the things that are going to slow you down, it's very hard for that to happen. I understand. But this is the time for you to do it. And especially as fire signs lead every single season, Sagittarius is going to be, the season of Sagittarius is going to be coming up, and that is going to conclude the fire signs energy for the, astrological year. So I feel as if there are going to be some battles that are coming up for you. There are going to be some very opportunistic moments where you are able to accomplish something, overcome something, heal something, complete something. But you have to understand what's going to come with that. When it comes to accomplishing things, it doesn't come without its effort, without the work that you have to put into it. Nothing that you do that is going to produce a result is coming just from good things. And I know in particular Sagittarius, Aries even, I think Leo, you've kind of created the environment that you're in because you're pushing yourself to learn. I think Aries and Sagittarius, the energy is coming in for you because of and in two different ways as well. Sagittarius, I think it's been more planetarily influenced for you, or you've just been on the chopping block. You've had a lot of stern grounding energy in your sign, and so you've had to learn a lot of hard lessons. Aries, I think that the lessons have been pertaining to you being authentic to what you really want. do you really know what you want? And if you do, why do you do things that contradict that? Like, I think Aries, you'll probably understand what I'm saying here, because I feel like the way it's about to come out is going to be confusing to everyone else who may be watching this. But if you have Aries influence in your chart, I think this is going to be something you understand. But it's like I want this, I think about this, I write about this, and I want it to manifest in my life, but I do something totally different. And it's like you can't help it. And I think it's just because there's this really deep rooted piece of you, somehow, some way, that has learned that you can't trust that you can actually get what you want. And so I feel like the tests that are going to be coming through for you with that 10 of swords and 7 of wands energy is going to be putting you in the spotlight, to be like, hey, you got to stop with that. You have to stop teeter tottering on either end of the spectrum. You have to choose a direction, and you have to trust that even if the direction may not be leading to where you want it to go at that very moment, there will be other opportunities for you to change the lane, for you to change the direction. But I feel like once you get onto a certain pathway, you have got to finally see it through, Aries. The card that came out for you was the 8 of swords. And so like I was just saying, I mean, I'm literally just um going off of what I'm feeling coming through right now. And your card was the 8 of swords. So for me to be sitting up here and channeling these messages around, this mental prison that you're putting yourself in, because it's like you can't even vocalize what it is that you want. I think that you can write it out. I think that you can imagine it. I think that you can do those types of things. But how many of your friends know what it is that you truly want out of life? How many of the people that you have dated have matched up to what it is that you truly want from a partner? And let's not even limit it to love here. Let's talk about, your work environment. Why do you continue to go down this path that is not going to produce what you ultimately want to do with your life? Why are you living in a city or a country or anything? Why are you doing anything that does not align with what you truly want? I'm gonna leave it there for you. Leos, like I was saying, I think that the environments that you have found yourself in, for a while now, is because you're reevaluating. I think, you know, uh, innately you have this concept of loyalty, like unrelenting, uh, infinite loyalty that captures or breaks you. And I feel like now you are starting to take a step back and be like, am I thinking about this wrong? Am I seeing it incorrectly? What may possibly be influencing me to think about this versus this? And that's huge for you. Huge for you. Huge for you. Because it is a little bit humbling, right? It is such a huge learning curve to hold yourself accountable, to be willing to learn how to do better, to be willing to learn how to look at things in a different way, and be willing to accept it as well, because that's a whole other ball game. Like, you can be open to it, you can hear it out, you can do all that type of stuff, but to actually accept that you may be wrong, to accept that maybe you went too far, to accept that maybe what is happening is because of you, right? The cards that came out for you were the 5 of Wands and the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is very cutthroat, like, no holds barred. I don't need to hear any of your type of excuses. If I decided on this, that's exactly what it's going to be. And the Five of Wands energy takes that a little bit further. It takes it out of the mental realm and actually executes it into the physical. When I think of the Five of Wands, I have to say that I mirror it a little bit, and maybe particularly, excuse me, in this type of reading with the Seven of Wands. I think the Five of Wands more so is, like I am constantly going to be on guard, ready to go for the jugular, because that's just what life has taught me. And then the Seven of Wands in this context for you is like like I'm battle tested already. I know the game. I'm ready to take this on. And I love that energy for you, even if it may seem as if like you're not getting the result that you want right now. I think that you want this type of a learning phase to be over with, and it's coming to its end. It's going to get there, but take it for what it's bringing you. Take it for exactly what it is. Take it for what it's worth. Just stay in this place, stay present, stay involved in your growth. And I think that when you look back on why you had to go through certain situations, why you had to do this really deep comb through of your relationships and the way that you act and respond, the way that you respond, I think you're going to be happily surprised. I think you're just going to be happy, because I think you're gaining a skill set right now that I think is going to come in handy very, very soon. I can't pinpoint it right now because, again, you're not there yet. Um, this is still the learning wave. But once you get there, it's really going to be like this huge aha moment for you. And it's going to make sense. It's going to click. It's going to click. Sagittarius, like I was saying, you know, I just feel like there's a huge weight off of it's off of your shoulders. And I feel for all three of these signs. Just, I'm sorry to kind of backtrack here. The new moon in Libra that just took place yesterday, I think is absolutely going to be the pivotal moment. Like, if you absolutely need to have a moment of when things shifted for you, it's going to be that. Ooh. Okay. Symbolism. Here I was up here talking, and somehow, some way, my video just shut off right when I was getting into the Sagittarius reading. Okay, so maybe that message isn't meant to be heard right now. Maybe that was just too big of a truth pill to swallow. So, fine, 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 fine. Let's start with the card that got pulled for you, Sagittarius. It was the Nine of Pentacles. And I was talking about in the part one reading, like, if you absolutely need a place to understand, where things began to shift, take a look at what was happening around the new moon in Libra. Again, that took place yesterday. I don't know when this video is going to be up. I am hoping within the next few days, but YouTube likes to do its own thing, so we're just going to go with the wave. Um, and of course, it was a super moon, so it's not like the energy is going to move along as quickly as it may usually do during another type of moon cycle. It's going to linger for a little bit, and especially too because it's being sandwiched between the full moon in Aries and the full moon in Taurus happening at the end of the month. But it's the halfway point. This new moon in Libra is, I feel like, the halfway point between everything that has already transpired in 2020. And I know that we are 10 months in, so it's like, okay, wouldn't it have needed to happen over the months of June, July? Not necessarily. Energy isn't linear. Energy is not linear. It doesn't fit into a box. It doesn't fit into where we want it to fit. It happens on its own time. And, there are sometimes extended periods of the lessons and the hard stuff and all of that. But I've been trying to, put out these warnings about what's to come. And in all honesty, what we've gone through already for 2020 has been the easy part. It's been the easy part. We have been forced to kind of sit on our behinds, to chill out. Um, and the circumstances haven't been great for why we've needed to do that, but it had to be done. I mean, when we are given the free will of choosing to relax and things like that, or choosing to continue to have our minds running and going and our eyes watching or doing, or our bodies doing something, it's highly unlikely that we're going to sit there and choose to be like, yep, nope. I mean, so many times I think I see on social media where people have to be deliberately posting something, or deliberately having to make a decision to to take a hiatus, to chill out, to refocus their energies. And that's kind of going to be what we have to do the remainder of 2020 and then some. So for you Sagittarius, the 9 of Pentacles came out, and I feel what that symbolizes for you is it feels like a little bit of a catch-22, I do think the theme is similar with you as it is with other fire signs, but just kind of in a different way. um where all of you have to get out of your own way. All of you have created these environments that you're in. I feel for you, though, Sagittarius, it's been more planetarily influenced. Excuse me. Because you've had some very heavy hitters in your sign. I mean, you've had Jupiter, which is your home planet, um, and Jupiter always has your back. Like you always. I just feel like I see like this lady luck type of person just sprinkling you. I feel like any type of hardship you may experience, you have a way out. And it may not always be clear that that's the route that you're supposed to be taking, but eventually it's just like the red carpet continues to roll out for you, and you don't even have to lift a finger. And so this 9 of Pentacles energy is coming in for you. And I feel like, there's been this energy tapping on your shoulder, and yet you've automatically kind of written it off, or you thought that it was going to be something bad, but that's not what it was or what it is. It really is something that's coming in for you to have. It's something that you can be grateful for. It's something that is going to finally break down the walls of all of the negative energy that you have had circulating around you, because you literally, I see like this boot kicking. I feel like you've literally been getting kicked over and over and over again. And granted, I mean, if any sign can sit there and I don't want to say necessarily take it, but if any sign can sit there and utilize the bricks that are thrown at them to rebuild, it's going to be you. It's going to be you, because you're not down and out for long. Um, but I think that mentally you can be there, even though you are trying to maneuver in another way. And so this 9 of Pentacles, I think, is symbolizing to you like, hey, it's your time now. You went through all of that. You went through all of that stuff. And this is what you've been praying for, hoping for, wanting, longing for. It's here. And I think that any energy now where you may think of it negatively, you may think that it's annoying, you may think that it's pestering you, you may think that, like I'm just going to deal with it now because it won't go away. I want you to try and switch your perspective a little bit. And I think that's really going to help you in the long run, is understanding that it's not to bother you, it's not to entrap you, it's to release you. Because I don't think you really know how much of I don't think boundaries is the right word. How Um, something wants me. You want me to say encumbered? You have just been blocked. There you go. Thank you. You have been blocked off. I don't think you realize how much you have allowed yourself to be blocked from your blessings. And so, with this new moon energy that has come in, it's in Libra. We've been talking about balancing, 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 and more balancing. We've been talking about the number twos. We've been talking about all of these things that are really going to um, be like an equalizer, internally, externally, black and white. Like, I mean, female and male. If you notice everything that is going on in the world, it's 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 those things. It's those types of themes. Everything that we are dealing with right now has to do with balance. Balance. And I even hate to say it that with the pandemic and how much of the planet's resources we have just been depleting, it took this global disease to try and even that out a little bit. And it sucks. It really sucks that all of these things, when they are finally resolved, when we look at the numbers and how much of an impact it had on this entire planet, it's going to be appalling. It's going to be appalling. It's so unfortunate that when it comes to balancing out, there has to be casualties. But for everything we decide to do, every single thing, there's a consequence. For every single thing that exists, there's an opposite. So for you all fire signs, I really do feel as if, and also too, air energy is your opposite. Gemini's, Sagittarius's, Aries and Libra, Leo and Aquarius, your direct opposite. So there are going to be things that you're able to learn from your air sign counterparts. And although Sages, you guys have a little bit of a different energy here with the Pentacles. Aries, Leo, you two have swords energy in some way, shape, or form. Leo, you also have wands energy. But that's saying something. You're going to be able to learn from air signs. You're going to be able to learn by tapping into how you think and redoing how you think, like um really taking the time to try and get to the root of why it is you think the way that you think, pausing and thinking before you do. It's all of those types of lessons that are really going to be beneficial for you over the next several weeks. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Definitely make sure to be following the Fire Family pages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Definitely make sure that you are looking at the post that I put here on YouTube's community page. But I will definitely showcase what your cards look like, and if there are any additional messages that come out with those particular posts, I definitely will include them. But I absolutely love you guys, and like I said, it is my goal to try and put out some more content. Um, but I really hope that these type of messages help you. And if you need anything more specific, definitely feel free to email me and book a reading, the abbyphoenixguidance@gmail.com. Mwah! Love you all so much. Take care. Bye.